Good morning. Welcome, yogis. Thanks for being here. We appreciate you waking up and coming into these 9 a.m. classes. Today we have a 90% illuminated moon. It is well on its way to being full. There's 2 full moons this month, October 2020. So on Halloween, Samhain, there is the second full moon, the blue moon. It will be in Taurus. Right now, the 90% moon is in Aries. Aries has to do with the head physically, and the head is all of the things the head encompasses. It's the skull, it's the brain, it's the mind, it is the facial features, the ears, the balance, right? Our inner ear, vestibular system. It is the junction of the head with the neck, the brain stem, right? So it's that primal level, reactionary, intuitive, instinctual level of self-awareness, as well as some higher level examination and thinking. The shadow of Aries is to move from a truly intuitive place into an impulsive place. And I think that there's an important distinction to be made there, that when we work only on impulse, we're usually driven by a fear response, a protective response. And that can be in our best interest at times, but if that becomes habitual, then we start to actually create barriers between ourselves and our deeper self-knowing, and self-examination. So I think it's important in those moments of trusting our actions to be able to distinguish, where is the impetus for that reaction coming? Is it coming from that truly intuitive, deep knowing, experienced, observational mind, or is it coming from that alternate, fear-based, reactionary, based on habits and fears and former experience that is not necessarily well-visited territory, right? We're going to do something we don't often do in this class, which is work with sun salutations. Aries being the first sign in the zodiac and the first fire sign, also being this almost full moon, it makes sense. So we're gonna play through some different variations on sun salutations. So just be aware of your wrists, your shoulders, your neck. Take breaks as needed. Those will be worked into our process, but if you need extras, please don't hesitate. The thing I want to remind you of is this not working just on habitual actions, right? But examining our process through sun salutations. Part of why I don't teach these often is because people really think that they have it down. They've done so many of them that you just kind of start going through the motions. These are not going to be necessarily traditional sun salutations. So you're going to have to be paying attention to my words and where we're going and making no assumptions about the next step so that you can still remain really present in each individual posture and what it has to offer you. Yeah. I think that we'll elaborate as we go. So let us start standing. You're going to find a blanket across the center of your mat to protect your knees when that time arrives. Oh, we will be standing with blocks at the ready in front of our mat. We'll stand in front of our blanket, near but not right at the front edge of the mat. Feet will be hips width apart. You can see my heels are at my actual hips width, And then my toes turn out slightly so that my hip joints are neutral. Once you find that position, closing your eyes and taking the weight into the heels. Challenge your balance already. Notice the tendency for the weight to pitch forward as soon as you close your eyes. Can you keep the weight back into the heels? Maybe make a little zigzag hinging shape, almost like a chair pose, so you can get accustomed to really feeling the heel root. And then lifting the forefoot a couple times until you can really notice that the weight is in the heels, but that you can activate the ball of the foot down. Just because Aries is at the top of the body doesn't mean we can't and shouldn't really focus on the base of the body. If Aries head energy takes over, then we end up completely out in the clouds, detached from ourselves and our community. We need to stay anchored even as we focus on this mind space. From those feet pressing through the legs so that the tail rises, the belly gathers gently back without pulling the pubic bone up. The front ribs pull down and back toward the spine, rounding the back of the heart slightly. Then lift and broaden the shoulders and collarbones, hands coming open. Lift through the base of the skull, that brainstem area at the base. Tadasana, mountain pose. If your balance allows you to keep the eyes closed this whole time, notice how your balance wants to shift around. Notice that it is not a stagnant thing, even on 2 feet. Notice that the calves and the thighs and the hip muscles are all working to try to figure out how to keep you centered. Your deep core really has to have some awareness to it to keep those ribs from flaring out and collapsing at the base of the ribs at the spine. Notice that the shoulder blades are separate from your ribs. They do not have to just come forward as the heart rounds in back or squeeze back to get the front of the heart open. There's a balance there, and they can move it independently of the spine and the ribs. Notice that your jaw likes to start to harden, your tongue pressed against the roof of the mouth or the teeth. Sometimes you even create a suction. Can you release that? Maybe even make some noise. Then move into the awareness of the breath. Notice in your body, does the breath come from the bottom and rise up to the top? Or does it start at the top and root down through the feet before exiting? Notice. Do not choose. Simply notice which occurs more organically. Turn the palms out. And then shrugging the shoulders slightly, reach up. Let the hands stay wide. Look left and right, noticing that the shoulders, the back, these can work really hard without the neck and face getting hard. Roll out your wrists. On an exhale, press the palms out. From the center of your heart, stretch both the collarbones and the shoulder blades away from your midline as you move out through the palms and back down to Tadasana. Make sure weight is equally rooted in both feet. Inhale, lift tail, gather belly, reach up. Urdhva Hastasana, hands overhead. Exhale, press out from the center of the heart, lifting through the base of the skull, stretching out the back neck slightly. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, pressing out. Soft jaw. Inhale, reaching up. On your exhale, we soften elbows, we twist left. Do that just from the heart. Keep the pelvis really stable. Inhale, reaching up. Exhale, bend elbows, pull down slightly as you twist right. Try to keep your heart and head stacked over the center of your pelvis. Inhale, reaching up. It's not about how far you go, it's about how refined the movements are. Taking that left twist again. Keeping the tail lifted, but those front ribs pulled in. Inhale, reaching up, center. Exhale, twisting right. Inhale, come up through center. Palms touch and pull down to the heart center. Anjali Mudra. Pause. Find the breath. Notice the tendency for the chest to collapse here. Can you press into the palms but pull back through the shoulder blades? Make a sturdy foundation on which the neck and head can lift and rise light and soft. Maybe a little bobble of the head, a little release of the jaw. Notice your feet. Just notice how they feel. They feel balanced. Is one taking more weight? Do they feel like one is in front of the other? Look down, notice your feet, see them, and then come back to stand. Tadasana, Samastitihi. Inhale, hands down before they turn out and reach up. This time, exhale, chair pose, sit back into the heels. Feel the chair. Imagine a block between your ankles, squeeze it, and then gently open the knees into a strap, right? It just stops. Feel that internal resistance build up. Taking the weight back, shins pull back, hip crease pulls back, tail rises. Gathering the belly, it's not a total back bend, but the tail feels like it's making a back bend. Look left and right. Inhale, rise to the sky. Exhale, twist left. Make sure weight is in your heels. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist right. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, chair pose. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, twist left. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist right. Inhale, center. Exhale, chair. Inhale to the sky. Twist left. Inhale, center. Twist right. Inhale, center. Chair pose, settle in. Soften the base of the skull, wobbling the head, roll out the wrists. Inhale deep. Exhale, drop the heart and hands forward. Keep the knees bent. Weight moves into the forefoot. Hands might come to blocks or the earth. As you slowly let the spine roll down over your thighs. Forward fold, Uttanasana. Feeling the calves work, the thighs work, so that the spine can surrender one vertebrae at a time, letting the head get really heavy. Looking right and left, left and right. Gather the navel, release the crown a little further. Notice the toes might start to grip. Can you be balanced on the forefoot instead of in the tips of the toes? Feel the sole of the foot, the arches start to really ignite. Hands slide up above your knees. Keep the weight forward. Thighs press into the hands. Heart lengthens, tail lifts. Back neck is long. Keep that tail lifting like the low back could make a back bend. And then gather those ribs a little bit like cat and then broaden the chest. Look left and right. Imagine that block between the heels. Weight stays forward in the forefoot. Exhale, hinge in the hips. Lifting the sitting bones. Dropping the crown. Releasing the spine, but activating the navel. Hands above knees, lift halfway. Push with the feet. Lift through the backs of the thighs. Lift through the front body. Lengthen through the neck. Exhale, fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold. One more. Inhale, lift halfway. Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, Uttanasana, folding in. Pause here. Hands above knees, lift halfway. Exhale, sit weight back into the heels, reach the tail and the heart long, up, chair pose. Inhale, reach for the sky, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, hands to the heart, Samastitihi. Pause into the breath. Inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, weight forward. Trace your midline, weight in the forefoot, hips, working to take you down into the fold. Uttanasana. Ardha Uttanasana, weight stays forward. Subtle squeeze of the sitting bones so that the heart can get long, supported by the front body. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, sit back, chair pose. Inhale to the sky, rising. To the heart, settle. Breath cycle. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, arms out and up. Trace midline, weight forward, fold forward, Uttanasana, slow. Lift halfway, Ardha Uttanasana. Changing it up, sit back, chair pose. Inhale to the sky, reach up. To the heart, Samastitihi. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, reach up. Fold forward, weight forward, Uttanasana. Ardha Uttanasana, lift halfway. Sit back, Utkatasana, chair pose. To the sky, reach up. To the heart, anchor. One more round like this. Urdhva Hastasana. Uttanasana. Ardha Uttanasana. Utkatasana, chair. Urdhva Hastasana, standing, reaching. Samastitihi, anchor. Pause. Broad heart, both the front and the back. Anchored solar plexus. Rising crown. Inhale. Urdhva Hastasana. Uttanasana, fold in. Ardha Uttanasana, halfway lift. Exhale, rooting the palms on the floor, stepping the feet back, find a plank pose. Feet are hips width, look at them. Stack the heels over the ball of the foot, making sure that your shoulders are still behind the crease of your wrists. Do not tuck your tail here. Think about lifting the tail just like you did when standing, gathering the ribs. Plank is a Tadasana flipped on its front. Turn your elbows to point straight back. Push through the ball of the foot and the knuckles of the hands. Pause into the breath. Drop the knees underneath the hips, table pose. Inhale, cow pose. Exhale, cat pose. Inhale, cow, lift the tail. Open the heart, wrap the elbows to pull straight back, as if wrists could meet knees. And then exhale, press through the tops of the feet, the knuckles and fingertips. Press the ribs to the sky, let the tail and head drop. Cat pose. Cow, inhale. Cat, exhale. Think about the head coming along for the ride. Inhale, moving from deep in the spinal body. Front and back, resisting each other. Back neck stays long on cow. Exhale, gathering deep. Now keep that lift of the cat ribs. And at the same time, inhale, lift only the tail. Like a half of a cow. Exhale, cat. We're not clenching the glutes, we're just lifting the belly a little bit more. Inhale, tilt the tail up like cow, but don't let the ribs move. That half cow, exhale, full cat. Inhale, half cow. Point the elbows back toward your thighs. Now lift your head. That is your true table. That tail lifted, the ribs lifted, the elbows pointing back. Now tuck your right toes and your left toes, plank pose. Shift forward, shoulders come past wrists, tippy toes, come all the way to the earth. Untuck your toes, bend your knees 90 degrees. Hands should be under elbows instead of shoulders. Press down with the knees. Lift up with the belly. Feel the hips be light. Pull back with the hands and forward with the sternum, pulling the chest toward the chin, long back neck. Knees heavy, belly lifted. Hands back, heart forward. Baby cobra. If you can feel the knees pressing down, even with the legs straight, you can take the feet to the earth, but you don't want to push through the feet till the knees lift. You really want the hip flexors, the front of the hip to activate, pushing the knees down into the earth. Exhale, tuck chin, let it go. Let your hands come back, palms up. Shrug your shoulders, let your elbows splay out to the side. Lengthen out, pull your third eye forward. Maybe rock on the forehead a little bit. Maybe you make fists and roll the wrists. Looking at the earth, hands come underneath shoulders as wide as your mat. Make sure your hands turn out so elbows can point straight back without having to hug them in. Press down through the knees, lift up through the belly. Inhale, pull back through the hands and forward through the heart, baby cobra. Exhale, tuck chin, come down. Inhale, baby cobra, knees down, belly up. Hands back, heart forward. Exhale. We're not pushing down into the earth. We're using the back body to activate the back bend. Front body resists. Knees down, belly up. And pulling the heart forward. Up is secondary. Exhale, come down. Moving on. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, push down through your knees, lift your hips. Be there. Inhale, up, and then sit it back. Find your prayer pose. Reaching through the fingers, wrapping the elbows as if they could point down. Feeling the shoulder blades wrap around the armpit slightly. Tail lengthening back, crown reaching forward. With your knees down, inhale, come forward. Let the shoulders pass the wrists, open the heart, exhale, bend the elbows, come to the earth. Inhale, knees down, belly up, baby cobra, pull back to pull forward. Exhale, gather the ribs, press with the knees. You're in a mini chaturanga. Inhale, come up. Exhale, shift back, prayer pose. Pause here. Inhale, coming forward, knees stay down, opening the heart while lifting the tail and gathering the ribs. Exhale, come to the earth, slow. Baby cobra, pull the heart forward, don't clench the glutes. Exhale, ribs in, elbows in, hips up. Inhale, straighten the arms. Exhale, take it back, prayer pose. Take the hands back, shrug the shoulders, go slack, child's pose. Roll out the wrists, make fists, massage the palms with your fingertips. Rock your head left and right. If you'd like, take a bind at the low back, knuckle to knuckle, palms face each other, but they don't touch, just the knuckles interweave and the palms stay wide. Unite, take a strap between your hands instead. Just pause here. Notice the tendency already for the shoulder blades to come together behind you. Can you instead let them go broad? Falling toward the chest, even falling up toward the ears, making some space between the ribs and the collarbones. You'll notice your elbows are a little bent. Pull your shoulders down toward the earth, toward the kneecaps, and lift the elbows just a couple inches. You'll notice a tiny collapse in the neck. Lift your vocal cords, press your third eye down slightly. Soften your jaw. Release the hands down. Release the bind. Shrug shoulders. Go slack. Rock out the head. Reach the hands forward. Make sure they're wide and the hands and fingers don't point straight forward. Allow the length of your arm and forearm to be a straight line out through the hands. They don't need to bend to turn in. Inhale, come forward, broad chest, lifted ribs, lifted tail. Exhale, bend elbows just a few inches. Inhale, come up. Exhale, come down. Doesn't have to be to 90 degrees. Less is better. Inhale, come up. Exhale, come down. Tuck your toes, lift your knees. Chaturanga. Come to the earth. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, lifting the hips. Tuck the toes, this time downward facing dog. Take your time. Feet are hips width. Heels pull back, sitting bones reach up. Ribs are gathered. That same half cow, half cat action. Lifting through the tail for a low back bend. Gathering through the ribs so that the heart rounds between the shoulder blades. Wrapping the shoulder blades around the armpits. Pointing the elbow points toward the earth if you can, anchoring through the knuckles of your index and middle fingers. Let your big toe mound take more weight than your pinky. Grip an imaginary block with your ankles. Open the knees into an imaginary strap. And see if you can take the weight back a little bit without the heart collapsing. Let the head go heavy. Look left and right. Imagine your brain dropping down into the top of the skull a little bit. Come high up on the toes. Tiptoe your way forward. Take your time. Coming onto fingertips or blocks as needed to get the feet in front of your blanket. Hands on the earth, palms might turn up, Uttanasana, top of the mat. Weight is forward into the balls of the foot. Hands above knees, lift halfway. Pause here. We've been upside down for a while, so let your blood pressure reassert itself a little bit. Inhale here again. Exhale, sit back into the heels, chair pose. Inhale, reach up, Urdhva Hastasana to the heart, exhale. Pause. I'm gonna put a bit of these together. Remember, try not to anticipate or assume. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Left twist, soft elbows. Inhale, come up. Exhale, soft twist, right. Inhale, center. Exhale, chair pose, heels heavy. Inhale for the sky. Palms trace midline, Uttanasana, weight forward, fold forward. Hands above knees, Ardha Uttanasana, lift halfway. Hands root down as you exhale, step back, plank pose. Feet are hips width. Pay attention, take your time. Make sure you're not out in front of the wrists yet. Lift the tail, gather the ribs, lengthen the crown. Inhale, shift forward. Exhale, knees down, heart down. Inhale, baby cobra. Pull back to lengthen forward, press through the knees. Exhale, take it back, prayer pose. Inhale, make the bind behind you. Exhale, lift the elbows, curl the shoulders forward. Inhale, release the bind, reach forward. Exhale, be there, prayer pose. Inhale, come forward on the knees, shoulders past the wrists, heart open, don't tuck the tail. Modified chaturanga, bend just part way. Inhale, rise up to the earth, exhale. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, press the knees down, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Find the levity of the heels, the action of the mound of the foot. Find the lift of the tail and the gather of the ribs. Find the wrapping of the shoulder blades and the releasing of the crown. Make a noise. Lift the heels. Taking a little bit bigger steps this time. Walking forward to the top of the mat. On an inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, fold in completely. Weight forward, forward, forward. Spine surrenders. Inhale, lift halfway. Weight stays forward. Then we sit back into the heels, Utkatasana. To the sky, Urdhva Hastasana. To the heart, Samastitihi. Breathe. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Twist right, soft elbows. Inhale, center. Twist left. Go slow. Ride the longest breaths possible. Inhale, center. Chair pose, exhale. Inhale, reach for the sky. Keep the ribs buttoned in. Exhale, fold forward, Uttanasana. Ardha Uttanasana, lift halfway. Exhale, palms root, step back, plank pose. Inhale here, be here. Drop the left knee underneath you. Foot off the edge for a kickstand. Right foot flat, right hand to the sky. Modified side plank. Exhale, reaching past the ear, side bend. Oh. Take it down to the earth, plank pose. Right knee drops, makes a kickstand off the edge of your mat. Left foot flat, left hand to the sky. Inhale, modified side plank. Exhale, press the feet down, reach through left hand, forward, side bend, side stretch, hand comes to the mat, plank pose. Inhale, pull forward. Exhale, knees down, heart down. Inhale, baby cobra. Long back neck, don't look forward. Exhale, modified chaturanga, lift the hips. Take it back or up, inhale, and exhale, take it back, prayer pose. Take the hands into the bind, inhaling. Exhale, shrug the shoulders forward, lift the elbows higher. Pause here. Breathe into your chest, into that space between the collarbones and the ribs. When you're ready, press down through the feet and the shins. Gather the belly like a cat. Roll from the third eye toward, but not all the way to, the center of the crown. Squeeze that imaginary block between your ankles. Press the ribs to the sky. Let the shoulder blades come forward and the elbows press. You're just in front of the crown. If you roll too far, the back of the neck collapses. Can you find a balance between the throat in the front and the back neck? Keep the hands lifted as you roll back, hips onto the heels. Drop the hands, release the bind, shrug shoulders, go slack, child's pose. Reach the hands forward. Keeping the knees down, inhale, shift. shoulders past wrist, lift tail, open heart. Exhale, modified chaturanga, bend part way. Inhale there. To the earth, exhale slow. Inhale, open heart, baby cobra. Exhale, push the knees down, tuck the toes, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. What do you need to do in your body to refine your dog? To make your hips light and your head heavy. To find action, Pada Bandha in the feet, action, Hasta Bandha in the hands. Can you separate the work of your upper back from the work of your head, your neck, your face? Can you lift the heels high and look to the space between your hands? Can you lift one foot and then the other stepping forward into a half full top of the mat? 1 breath, inhale. Exhale, fold in. Add in some extra breaths there as needed. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, sit back, chair pose. Inhale, rise to the sky. To the heart, exhale. Pause. Be samastitihi. Notice your feet, your legs. Notice your tail and your belly. Notice the front and back sides of your heart, the throat and the neck spine, the tongue and the roof of the mouth, the 2 eyes, the 2 ears. Imagine the base of the skull and the crown rising equally fast through the sky. Inhale, Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, hands touch the earth or the blocks. Left foot back, lunge. Drop back knee. Let the hips shift forward and the heart rise up. Feel the stretch even as you pull your thighs together underneath you. Gather the belly and the ribs, but open the heart. Let the head lengthen. That left foot crosses onto the midline. We sit back, take the blocks with you. Heel settles into the space between the sitting bones. Right foot activates, Pada Bandha. And then we inhale, exhale, fold forward. Think about keeping the sitting bones as balanced as possible. Think about the heart lengthening instead of dropping. Keep the back of the heart active so that the neck can feel supported. Vocal cords pull in, soft jaw, eyes, and ears. Press down through the hands and that left foot. Pull through the right foot, coming forward into the lunge. Back off till the right knee is directly over the ankle. Left hand just in front of the shoulder. Open up, twisting. Right hand to the sky. Don't let the left hip drop forward. Pull that sitting bone back. Drop the left ear. Soften the jaw. Take that right hand to the block. 1 breath, yogis. Inhale, half fold, step forward. Exhale, fold in. Inhale, lift halfway. Exhale, right foot back, dropping low, lunge. Shifting the weight forward, lifting through the tail, the belly, the heart, and the crown. Pull the thighs together, even as the pelvis moves forward. Try not to let one hip or the other lead the way. Right foot comes to the midline. The foot sickles slightly as you sit back onto the heel, right in between the sitting bones. So left sitting bone is in the arch of the foot. Right sitting bone is heavy. Don't let it creep up. Hands forward, inhale. Exhale, hinge in the hip. Try to keep the heart really stable at the center line. Again, make sure that the pelvis is level. Propping it up with extra stuff as needed. But otherwise, the back of the heart is pretty active. Pulling in with the solar plexus, broadening the collarbones. Lengthen through both the throat and the back neck equally. Soften the eyes and the inner ear. As you're ready, hands will press down onto the blocks. Left foot will pull back, right foot will push down. You spring forward into the lunge. We neutralize the lunge, knee over ankle, right hand in front of shoulder. Inhale into the twist. Don't let the right hip come forward. Stay really neutral in the hips and the thighs. Sweep that left hand down. One breath, yogis. Inhaling, half fold. Exhaling, full fold. Inhale, lift halfway. Sit back, chair pose. To the sky, inhale. To the heart. Pause. Chair pose, inhale. Exhale, fold forward, blocks out of the way. Lift halfway. Plank pose, root palms. Make sure you step far enough back, feet hips width. Inhale, shift forward. With or without knees, hover. Inhale. Exhale to the earth. Baby cobra, inhale. Exhale, prayer pose. Inhale, bind the palms. Exhale, shrug shoulders, jackrabbit, pressing with the feet and the head, gathering through the ribs, cat pose. Shrug the shoulders, pull the elbows past the crown. No locking of elbows, no squeezing of the shoulders behind you. Gentle grip of an imaginary block between the heels. Coming down. Release the bind. Child's pose. Shrug shoulders, rock third eye. Pause at the center, surrender. Making your way onto your belly. Arms out to the side, turn the right cheek. You're a big cross. And then turn the left cheek. Open your eyes. You can see your right hand. Inch it forward just 6 inches until your palm is now in line with your face instead of being in line with your chest. 6 inches, that's all. Left hand, it comes down like a baby cobra near the edge of your mat. Bend both knees. Push with the left hand, lift your head, look left as you roll those left ribs onto the right ribs. I have to usually cheat my fingers, my right fingers out to the side a little bit. And then pull your knees toward your chest. Let your right temple fall to the earth. Imagine pulling that right shoulder blade toward the spine. Maybe you grip the earth slightly with that right hand. Let the neck and the head be heavy while this work in the shoulder and the chest reveals itself. Try not to chew on your tongue. Try not to suck on the tongue. Try not to press the tongue. Find some softness and some heaviness in the head, even while this heart space is doing some work. You're going to have to consistently come back to the letting go. The tendency is for that tension to creep up the neck and into the head and face. Remind yourself it's not necessary. The heart space can do this work without the head getting in the way. Straighten out the legs. Roll onto the belly. Continue to look left. Take both arms down at your sides. Child's pose style. Shrugging shoulders, arms slack. Pause. Let your left arm come out to the side. Again, it's in line with your shoulder first. You move it forward 6 inches till it's in line with your face. Right? We bend both knees. Right arm bends like a baby cobra setup, hand at the edge of your mat. Push down through the right hand, shifting those left fingers a little further out as you roll right ribs over the left. Feeling that chest open. Left temple gets heavy as the knees pull in toward the chest. Grip the earth with your left palm. Attempting to stack the right ribs, pulling the left shoulder blade toward the spine. Let the head go heavy again. Check in. Use your breath, relieving tension from any place that doesn't need to do this work. The space outside your eyes and the temples, the space between your eyes.
behind your eye, the space at the root of the tongue or the tip of the tongue, the inner ears, the brain stem. Soften all of these repeatedly. Straightening the legs. Rolling onto the belly. Continue to gaze right. Both arms come down near your sides. Shrugged shoulders, palms face the sky, just like your child's pose. Surrender. Your hands come to the baby cobra. Look down, neutralize the neck. Press the knees, lift the belly, pull back. Very baby cobra. Gentle, gentle, gentle. Pressing back onto all fours. Cow pose. Cat pose. Walk the knees forward. Sit on the heels or a block. Rock pose. We brought the heart down to a slower rhythm. Let's also then clear the mind just a little bit more. Brahmari breath, bee's breath. So the technique where you close the ears, that little flap of cartilage right in front of the ear, you use one finger your thumb to press that closed while your fingers cover your closed eyes. This deadens the senses of the outward world so that you can focus on releasing the inward. Along with this covering up, right? You're going to make a buzzing sound. And this happens when you take the tip of the tongue right up against the teeth, and then you focus a deep, intense humming sound through the tongue right into the teeth. You'll feel everything start to rattle a little bit. And you don't have to be super forceful. There's a moderation that happens there. But allowing that sound vibration to start to kind of obliterate everything else. You'll do 3 full breaths of Ramari. So taking as long as those breaths actually need. I will be here not hearing you, right? Because I will also be in that spot. And so at the end of your 3 breaths, you come to that calm place, palms down or palms up, yogi's choice, at the end of your Bhamari. So let's set up our hands, thumbs on that cartilage, hands over the eyes. Don't plug your ears quite just yet. Inhale fully 2 times. Clear the breath. One more. Begin Bhamari. Allow your smooth breath to move through you. Noticing the resonance of that vibration, perhaps beyond the skull. When you're ready, making your way to the corpse pose of your choice. It can be a traditional Shavasana, flat on your back. You might add extra layers of clothing for warmth. You might choose a bound angle version or a supported back bend or some combination therein, using straps or blankets or bolsters to support your spine or your legs, however you need to feel organically comfortable, where you can release yourself of any effort whatsoever. If you choose that supported back bend, make sure that it's mostly in the ribs and not down into the low back. Allow some space between your bolster or blanket and your sacrum. If you choose bound angle, make sure that your thighs or shins are supported somehow so that the stretch doesn't overtake your senses and become too intense. The point here is to relieve yourself of duty in the body so that all that remains is the stillness from which the mind can untether. The mind can move of its own accord without guidance, without analysis, that it may, just as we do in dreamland, process in a way that our conscious mind may not understand.
Allowing the breath to come to the forefront of your awareness. Acknowledging your body, your bones and muscles. Bringing movement into the head space, eyes, tongue, rocking with the head. And then allowing movement into the wrists, the ankles, elbows, knees, spine, slowly making your way organically toward the seat of your choice. Move slowly. Be deliberate. It's not about that final destination, it's about the move you're making now. Allow the breath to continue sustaining your stability, your action, your release. Allowing the anchor, the pelvis to move down and connect to the center of the earth. The thighs to be guided downward as the tail is guided upward. Allowing the spine, low spine, to press forward even as the navel pulls back. Allowing the back of the heart to rise up between the shoulder blades, and the front of the heart to anchor into the solar plexus. Lifting and broadening the shoulders front and back, and then stacking the head back over the feet. Back neck long, head balance. Turn palms up. Into your palms, please accept the light of my gratitude. Let them fill to overflowing. May your intuition be spot on. May your impulses be dampened by true knowledge, right knowledge, and not simply a fear response. May you know your heart as well as your mind. May those 2 points come into balance. Let all of these qualities fill your palms. Gratitude, insight, intuition, deep knowing. Soak this up the channels of your arms and into the center of your heart. Let these truths merge with the truth of your heart light, the center of all being, connecting thread. Bind the palms together, bowing in. Honor this space, its truth, its expansive nature. Honor the connection. From my heart to your hearts, my light through your light. Namaste. Grazie mille, yogis. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. Always, if you have questions or comments, you can reach out to me either by email or text. My information is at yogaengineer.com. I look forward to seeing everybody again soon. I am here 9 a.m. Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Any any changes to the schedule will be posted on the website as well as go out in a newsletter. So make sure you are receiving those. Thanks again. Take care.